Hello everybody. Today I wanted to bring you something a little different than I usually do. And I've got my AC going back there, if you can see it. So there might be some background noise, but from what I've seen it's not too bad, at least when I'm using my computer microphone. Today I wanted to talk about something that has affected me for most of my life. And I wanted to put this out there so that other people can kind of listen to me and my experiences, and especially this for those people who have shared the same experiences in life and need a little direction, guiding. I want to talk about social anxiety. And before I get into it, I feel like it would be best to have a definition, a good definition. For those of you who are unfamiliar with it, social anxiety is not shyness. It's not being scared. Well, it's not limited to, sorry, I bumped the microphone a little. It's not limited to being scared to talk to new people, for example. It's much worse than that, actually. If you've never, well, the people who have experienced it will know exactly what I'm talking about, but if you have never experienced it, imagine being in a room full of people and you feel kind of frozen, frozen like a deer in headlights kind of thing, and you can't relax around other people either. You feel frozen, and while most people would be relaxing in that situation, let's say you're just in a situation where you're in a room full of people and nobody's talking to you, and you're just sitting there. All right, most people will be able to relax in a situation like that. But if you have social anxiety, that is not the case. So, if you have social anxiety and you're sitting in a room with a lot of people around, you are not able to relax. You will be spending the time thinking about all sorts of different things, thinking about what people are thinking of you, what you should say, how you would respond if someone says a particular thing. You're thinking about everything in the world except for just letting, you can't let your mind idle. It just doesn't happen. And for me, social anxiety went hand in hand with insomnia, not being able to sleep on a consistent basis, tossing, turning, and actually it worsened the social anxiety, which was great, It's great to have that one thing on your plate, and you're like, oh, I'll have some of this too, It worsened it because when you get less sleep, your mind, or at least mine, didn't function as well as normal, Anyways, so that's what social anxiety is. So that's a definition for people who think it's just shyness or whatnot, or have never experienced it, never known somebody. One of the most common things that I've seen and have experienced myself is that with social anxiety, you will know it's social anxiety when people give off body language that they do not mean to give off. I was watching a video about a week ago of this guy who was at Comic-Con, I think it was, and he had social anxiety, and a person he was talking to was this really energetic guy who was interviewing him, and it was just like the worst the worst situation you could ever be in if you're someone with social anxiety, because he was really energetic. He had him on camera, really energetic, had a mic right in his mouth, asking him all these questions, and this guy, he didn't know how to respond, and he was giving off the wrong body language. The guy who was, bug just fell on my hand, and there it goes. The guy who was interviewing him thought that he was, what do you think? He thought he was angry at him or something, and the guy who had social anxiety was like, no, why would I be? And that's one of the most common things I've experienced, is you give off body language that you don't mean to. Sorry, I needed to clear my throat there. Anyways, when I was signing up for classes for this semester, and this wasn't too long ago, this was a month ago, something like that, maybe 2 months, month and a half, something like that. Anyways, this girl took me by surprise when I was signing up for classes, and there were people waiting for me, so I was already nervous, because I was trying to get it done really quick so that I wouldn't be holding everybody up. Anyway, she came over and asked me, what was she asking me? She asked me if I was having any trouble, I think, and I said that that I already signed up for all my classes, but now I was just switching them around to get the schedule to somewhere where I would like it. And after I said that, she said something like, she apologized. I guess I gave her the impression that she was annoying me or something, which I didn't mean to. I'm just checking to make sure I'm on camera here. Yeah, make sure I'm recording. I hope that I didn't start recording too late. Anyways. Where was I? Oh yeah, but you give off wrong body language because you don't know how to carry yourself really. Because you're so used to just kind of getting along by not talking to anybody that you forget over time how people respond to you. You forget how to communicate properly using body language. Now you should be able to have a general understanding of what I'm talking about if you just come in here like no freaking idea, which I'm sure a lot of people will. Anyways, so this has affected me for 24 years out of my life. Or maybe not that much, because I'm sure I didn't like pop out of the womb having it. Let's go with 20 or 15, something like that. That sounds like a good number. Anyways, but up till about a couple of months ago, it has affected me. Okay, horribly, very badly. I would be rendered catatonic in most social situations, actually. I don't know, I don't know what started it for me, really. I don't know. My best guess is that it had something to do with an event that happened when I was young, and it was so long ago that I can't remember it. That is my best guess on that. I really can't tell you. I don't remember anything about it. I just know that it's affected me for a lot of my life. And it does not affect me now. It does not affect me now. This is the weirdest thing that I've ever come across in life. I swear to God. If you have social anxiety and you are watching this, listen to me, because I have gotten over it completely, for the most part, completely. I haven't, maybe there's like some part of it that still resides, but if there is, I haven't seen it yet. So, as far as I'm concerned right now, I have gotten over it completely. And the way I did it is by what I'm doing right now, actually. I have not been making videos for very long at all. I had 2 channels that hardly got any attention at all before I opened Whispered Gaming up and thought that I would like it more, because what I was doing before is normal gaming commentaries. I had one called Seren's Corner and one called Commander Mittens. Those were my 2 YouTube things, and I was trying to be really, really energetic and really upbeat in them, but that's just not my personality. I've never been like that. I've always been cool and calm. I've never been the up-in-your-face kind of person. I've always been relaxing. So, anyways, let's see, this channel has been open for 3 weeks, and I think the things before that were open for about a week each. So, a little over a month. There's hardly any time at all, really, when it comes to the long term, long time spans. It's very short amount of time. But yeah, I went to school, and it was my first year of university. this was 2 weeks ago, about, yeah, a little less than 2 weeks ago, actually. Now, before, I was going to community college, and back then I would be in a classroom and I wouldn't be able to talk to anyone. And when I went to university for the first week, that was completely different. Now, you know when you're in a room and it's like the first day of college and there's two people, or one person even, that's really loud and really talkative in the room, and everybody else is like quiet and shy, but they kind of open up later on. But that first day, there's just like one guy who's loud and talkative. Usually that's how it goes. That was me this year, oddly enough. No, I wasn't even thinking about it at first. I wasn't thinking about what I was doing. I just started talking and talked about whatever came to mind to whatever strangers entered the door. And then later, I was thinking about it, and I was like, I was that guy. Like, I was that guy that, is the talkative one in the room, which that may sound like nothing to some of you, but for me, that's amazing. Like, I've never been able to do that before. And so that's how I realized that it was over. And my insomnia is that's been fixed for a while now. It's a thing of the past. And the way I did it is by starting to make videos of myself doing things. At first it was only gameplay. Then I did a couple ASMR things, some that have my face in it and where I'm talking, and some that do not. But the thing about making videos is that you are your own judge, okay? The first time I recorded a video of myself, oh my god, I sounded like the most countryest hick that you'd ever meet. Like, I slurred my words together. I didn't pronunciate anything. Oh man, I sounded like an idiot. And I started thinking, that's the way I was sounding when I was talking to other people. No freaking wonder I was getting some negative feedback, like back in the day. I had no idea how moronic I sounded. And that's not the case anymore. And that's the thing. You have to be your own judge when you're making your videos. You have to listen to the videos and say, okay, I'm not pronunciating. My words are slurring together. I have a weird accent that probably people won't respond well to, You have to look at your facial expressions. You have to look at how you're sometimes speaking in different tones and sometimes changing it up, I was monotone too before, that's why I'm saying that. But you learn how to make your voice sound interesting to people, to where they want to listen to you, to where you hold their interest, and to where you make them think, you've got something interesting to say, even if you're just talking about something like social anxiety. But that's what did it, because you get to put your videos out there, and you get to judge yourself, and you get to see other people judge you and see how they react to you. And that builds confidence. And when you're confident in your speaking abilities, and when you're confident in the way that you carry yourself, and the way that you convey body language, the way that you talk to people, the way you pronunciate your words, your inflections, when you have confidence in those things, speaking is no longer difficult, even in a room full of strangers. So that is the message that I really want to get across. Earlier years back, I would have killed to have someone tell me what I'm saying right now, if it worked. Like, I don't know if this would work for everybody. I just know my own experience. So that's all I can really talk about. That's all I can comment on. And all I can do is hope that, since that worked for me, that it might also work for some other people. If you're wondering why I get so close to the mic sometimes, it's because this is primarily an ASMR video, and sometimes they like soft-spoken stuff, whispering into the mic. or hearing things that happen on one side of the mic and then hearing those things switch over to the other. They like that kind of stuff. So anyways, that's what I wanted to talk about. You can kind of think of doing these YouTube videos as the best speech class that you can ever get, because of the way that you have to judge yourself, like I was speaking earlier. So I sincerely hope that this knowledge will help some people, and that some people who suffer from social anxiety, because trust me, you suffer when you have it. You can be in a room not even saying anything, just sitting there, and afterwards you feel completely swamped, completely exhausted, because you've expelled so much energy just worrying, even though there's nothing to worry about. So it's definitely a form, it makes you suffer when you have it, okay? When you're in public situations, at least. And then some people would also, I'm sure, say that you suffer because it makes you more solitary, makes you more antisocial to some degree. Like, I was really antisocial even though I loved people. I've always loved people. I've always been a people person on the inside, but at the same time, I was scared to talk to them back then, not anymore. But yeah, if you know someone who has social anxiety, please get this to them. Because I know it would be a great thing for me if I ever found out that there was someone suffering from social anxiety that is no more because of this message. So that would make my day, make my year, make my life. So that's all that I have to talk about. Hope you learned something new in this, and hope I could help some people. So I don't really know how to end this, so I'll just say goodbye for now. See you next time.